there, this is Skeleton Key, and I'm back for week 6 of my fall readathons for 2020. Kicking this week off with some really impressive hauls. Not all book hauls, but book-ish hauls, yeah. I stopped in It'll Firehouse, and I had a special order, and it had come in. Real Alchemy. So this is going to be fun. Alright, so Old Firehouse is doing an online event with V.E. Schwab. To sign up for the event, you had to buy a copy of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and it's a signed copy. So I ordered that and signed up for the event. So there's signed edition. But I had forgotten that I had already pre-ordered it. And of course, the bookstore was like, do you want to buy both of them? You don't have to. But I'm like, sure. I mean, I'm sure I have somebody in my life who needs this book, so... this is not a signed copy, but I think I am getting a signed book plate for it. So I've got 2 copies of that, so I get started on that. And then I went to the library and picked up a book I had on hold, Coffee Land. So nonfiction about coffee. And then picked up the mail. And so, remember those notebooks I got a while back? There. I now have a matching tote bag. Woo! And that's bookish related, because I can use it to carry books in. Not that I go much of any place these days, but when I go places, apparently I end up with books. Also in the mail, I got... Well, here, I'll just show you. Crossing friend sent me this. A bunch of us are on Facebook, and on somebody else's post about some embroidery thread, she posted that she had, this that she didn't need anymore. The friend who'd originally posted said that it wouldn't work. She has a machine, and it wouldn't work with that. And I said, is it still available? Because I do hand embroidery. And so, yeah, she was so lovely and sent this to me. And so the project that I'm working on, when I run out of blue thread, it's 2 colors, sort of a dark blue and a sort of a medium blue. So I'll be able to use some of that in that project. I am just so thrilled, and I'm sure I will find uses for the other ones too. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much, Carrie Ann. And then the package that made me straight up cry, and I'm probably going to cry again. Yeah, I'm going to cry. Sirens. Because it was supposed to be this month. We're going to do Sirens at home, but this Sirens got moved out to next year. Hopefully we'll be able to meet next year. I mean, everything's so uncertain. But, so I've got some bookmarks for, there you go, sirensconference.org. It's for women in fantasy fiction. So if that's your jam, check it out. So everyone who had registered for this year, apparently they sent a little care package. And lovely letter. I won't read it now because I can't get through it without crying. But a custom blend of dryad tea, Siren's brew of fortification, sounds yummy, and mask. Because we all need masks. And a t-shirt wrapped up in a bow, of course. So, yeah. I have to unwrap that. And then, and I can't unwrap this yet, a surprise book. Because we all need books. Books are life. Wrapped up in a bow. And it says, from near future to far future. And when we meet online for Sirens at Home, we'll open them together. So I can't open it yet. What the hell was that? I have no idea. There was a weird noise, and I don't know if it was inside the house or outside the house. I should go investigate. Well, I am making progress on my quilt top. Got another square done today, and I'm not sure. I'll have to check and see. I don't have a whole lot left to do. I think maybe 3 more squares to go, and then I need to learn how to actually quilt. Yeah, I don't have a sewing machine, so I'm gonna have to put the quilt blocks together by hand and do everything by hand. That'll be a fun project. I've been listening to A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine. I had started off reading it on ebook, see the spellings, and I wanted to know how things were pronounced. So I finally just decided, okay, I'll get the audiobook, and then I can go back and forth and look at the spellings and then listen to the pronunciations. But mostly I've been listening to it, and it's kind of long. It's like 15 and a half hours, something like that. But I am loving this book. It's a political thriller, and it's a murder mystery. Yeah, it's all the fun stuff. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. So yeah, I gotta finish listening to that. I'm more than halfway through, so yay. So where was I? Sorry, it's been a while since I've recorded anything. I was listening to, and sometimes reading, but I was listening to A Memory Called Empire. I did finish that. I'm amazed I finished that. I was not expecting to finish that in time for book club on Thursday. And yeah, because I was kind of expecting it to be kind of slow moving, and I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't deep, because I have a feeling there were a lot more layers that I could have dug into with this, but it was just very the plot just flat out moved, and I think what really helped was it moved in ways that I really was not expecting. It would constantly surprise me. I would think we were headed one direction with the plot, and then it's like, oh no! And no, One Direction is not a name of a character, obviously, oddly enough. There is a character named Six Direction. And there's a character named, I think, 5 Helicopter. I think 6 Helicopter. And there's a character named One Lightning. Yeah, so fun stuff there. My favorite character name is, I think it was 35. I don't remember the number. It was in the 30s. I know it was in the 30s. I think it was 35 All-Terrain Tundra Vehicle. I like that name. That's just so funny. And the characters in the book thought it was funny too. I don't want to say a whole lot, because the plot starts going weird directions pretty quickly, and I don't want to spoil that for you. But yeah, it won the Hugo. It deserved the Hugo. I'm so happy. I'm very glad to have read this book. And then I started on Assassin Awakens, and that's for a book club tomorrow. And it's on Zoom as well. And it should be a quick read. It's only like 150 pages, I think. So a novella. And I'm not very far in, but I and this is I've got it on ebook, and the copyright information's at the back. So I haven't got to the copyright information, but I'm curious to see when this came out. The main character is an assassin, but her target is very clearly based on a real person, and so I'm anxious to see where this goes. I've read a little bit more on Shirley, listening to that via Hoopla. I'm way behind, so it's not exactly exciting yet. Uh, it's a little dry, but at the same time, it's interesting. So, what else? I've mostly just been powering through A Memory Called Empire. But yeah, that one is worth the time investment. Unless you're a poet. One of my book club friends is a poet, and she was not pleased. I mean, I'm a poet too, but I'm not a real poet. I mean, I've published stuff, but I write poison teas, and which are basically akin to murderous limericks. I have also been slacking on my Poe reading, because in that audiobook that I got from Hoopla, so now I'm at The Fall of the House of Usher, and I don't know. I started listening to it, and it wasn't boring exactly, but I wasn't really retaining it, and I don't know. Maybe that story is just cursed. That maybe it's like Addie LaRue, which I have not started yet. Okay, yeah, this is like the wee hours of Monday morning. Okay, so two books to talk about. One, Assassin Awakens. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's a an assassin book. It's a thriller, spy thriller kind of thing. It's set in October 2020. She wrote this in 2019, like several months in the middle of 2019. And there is so much stuff in this book. I mean, obviously, it doesn't have any COVID-19 references, but there is so much other stuff in this book about the political landscape that it's like, how did you know this in 2019? I mean, yeah. So it's kind of a fun look at at an alternate 2020. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, Teresa Crater, Assassin Awakens. If you need if you need a spy thriller in your life right now, yeah, grab that one. The other book, yesterday I started in. Yeah, I should have done this a lot earlier, but One by One by Ruth Ware, and I'm reading it. I still haven't finished it, and I'm going to because I won't review a book unless I've read it. And yeah, I have thoughts and feelings, and I'm going to review this book, and it's not going to be a good review. Um and I don't want to be spoilery, but yeah, I started it yesterday. It's 11 discs long. I have 2 discs left to go, and it has pissed me off big time. The structure is, I mean, early on in the story, I was like, okay, we've got two narrators here. You get all these characters just thrown at you at the beginning. I mean, if you've got a print copy of the book or maybe even an ebook, I guess that's not that bad because there's like the cast of characters at the end, at the very beginning. But on audiobook, it was kind of hell. I was like, okay, who's this dude again? Why do I care? And who is this Liz chick? And why the fuck is she even here? But Liz is one of the POV narrators, first person, and the other one is Aaron. And so, of course, my writer brain is going, okay, why do you only have two POV narrators? Why did you pick these two characters? What's going on here? And then there's just so much other stuff that was just, some of it just seems so obvious to me that I'm like, well, that's just way too obvious. That can't be what it's about. And then you've got these super mysterious backstories coming in. And then they're not even really all that interesting when you get them. And then, so as far as I can tell, the killer was revealed at like the 75% mark. Really? Really? So I've still got two whole discs left to go. And I'm like, what the hell are you gonna do? Is there gonna be another huge plot twist? Because, yeah. But anyway, what's pissing me off though is there's a trope that I'm seeing a lot more of lately, and I can't say what it is because it's a spoiler, but it's pissing me off, and I'm not happy. And yeah, when I write my review, it's, yeah, I'll mark it for spoilers, but yeah. Well, just dropped my ballot off at the courthouse. Got that filled out last night. Got it dropped off. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I voted for Biden. I seriously think that's the only way to go. But I did also go to the library, and I had two hold books waiting for me. So, The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, local author, yay. I've read one other thing by him, and I don't know if enjoyed is quite the right word, and I don't think I had the proper background to completely understand it, but it was good. It was fascinating and dark and weird. But yeah, and that was Mapping the Interior. And the other book I got, and this I had to do interlibrary loan, and that is, what is it called? The Diaries of Hannah Colwick, Victorian Maidservant. So yeah, there you go. And so that's for Victober. So I'll be digging into that. Maybe get into some of my steampunk gear, my very non-period accurate steampunk gear. I did finish One by One by Ruth Ware today. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of worried that the last 2 hours, the last two discs, were just going to be those two characters just chasing each other around in the snow, which it was more than that. There was a chasing. I'll just say right now, yeah, there is a snowy chasing. But that's, I mean, you can kind of guess that from everything that goes before. I mean, there was tons and tons of foreshadowing for that. I think I'm probably going to end up splitting the difference between 3 stars for the plotting, mostly just being kind of disappointing. And 1 star for the treatment of it. I think there were probably 2 autistic characters, but the one that was very clearly coded as autistic, the treatment of that character, I am angry about that. And in some spoiler friendly venue, I will probably rant. The Literally Dead Book Club is what I read that for. Oh, Slice of Cherry. I left Slice of Cherry too long, and it's due back tomorrow. So I went ahead and turned it in today, and I'll just re-request it and get it again. And that will give me at least another 3 weeks once I get that back. And yeah, I really want to finish that one. I was really getting into it, so here's hoping. Well, time to wrap up the week. This is, week 7? Week 6? I've lost track, but you can count, so I'm sure you can figure it out. Anyway, today is October 12th, if that helps. So yeah, still doing Victober and Frightfall and Readers Imbibing Peril. I have not started on The Woman in White yet, and that is for both of Victober, and it's not Frightfall exactly, but Seasons of Reading is doing it in conjunction with Castle Macabre, and in the fall what they do is Something Wicked Fall. So hopefully next week I can get moving on The Woman in White and get back to my Poe. But to my Canadian family and friends, happy Thanksgiving, and happy fall, happy Thanksgiving, happy whatever season you are having, or if you're in Colorado and don't know what the heck the season is, because the season is fire. The season is fire here. If you are in one of the danger zones, whether it's fires or hurricanes or earthquakes, I've lost track of what's going on in the world, but please stay safe. And I mean, of course, there's always the pandemic. Stay safe, wear your masks, avoid people, channel your inner introvert, and I hope you're having a good week. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you around.